what I would say to every single African country is pressure your leaders to change the constitution so you can be able to question and fight them. We have a constitution that allows us to fight. Are we there yet? No, because the leaders, some of the leaders we have are still the older people who are still running through the old policies. Do I think we're going to be there? Yes. Because if we give the younger people a chance to actually take over, lead, and they are not afraid of losing their seats, we are not going to be afraid. And Africa will only change when we change all those colonizers' constitutions, because we changed ours and it's been a game changer. That's why you can see on the news that Kenyans are out there on the streets fighting, right? We need to change this. We need to be one mind for Africa, one mind. Once Africa is stable, nobody can tell us anything. And it's the truth. In Africa, I don't know, maybe in Kenya, I'll tell you, in Kenya, when they see you with a big tummy, you're rich.
Yeah, they said that also. They said that also because of,
Yes. But if you have a flat tummy, you are actually poor.
The amount of pregnant men I have seen here, I've seen before. No,
we need a new maternity wing. Yeah, true.
To be sincere.
Yes. But my question is, why would you not get to that point when the kind of food is not even being affected by air? Because air itself, it has a lot of living organisms. That's why if you want your food to be not to be stale, you put it in a fridge where the temperature is regulated. If you cook your meat and you cook it nicely, you leave it outside for 1-2 days, you cannot eat it.
Mr. Sam.
Wagwan.
Welcome to Vicinfluential once again.
Dayo.
Yeah, sorry that I have to bring you out all the way from, how many minutes did you travel or hours?
Well, I traveled for probably, I think it was 45, and then I had to go back because I left my phone, and then I had to come back. So generally, I think it was 45 minutes, 1 hour. It's not that bad. It's
and the weather,
a typical Dubai
and the weather
day.
Also.
And the weather is very, very hot. Yeah, because today I decided to use public means, which was I wasn't driving, So yeah. So
sorry, and coming and going also. It's a bit
coming and going. Yeah, it's okay. Good things come to those who wait.
I wanted to offer you Nigerian meal, but you don't like spicy food.
I love Nigerian food, but I do not. It's only the spice part that me and spices have a fight.
This one is spicy.
Yes.
So I want us to discuss this thing that is trending in Africa right now. Most of us don't know that it's been there for a long time.
Yes.
That is GMO food.
Yes.
So I want us to discuss about it. But first, I want to tell you African country that have approved GMO crops.
Okay, talk to me.
So South Africa started since 1990s.
Okay.
And Sudan, but not for commercial use.
Which Sudan?
They say I think Sudan when
it was one.
Okay. And Nigeria also since 2019. Kenya since 2002.
I told you.
So it's not long, right?
Yes, and 2002 is when it was broadcasted. But it was one of the first countries in Africa to actually.
So all these countries have approved GMO food. Yes. South Africa, Sudan, Nigeria, Kenya, Ethiopia, Malawi, Ghana, Swaziland, Burkina Faso, Mozambique, and Rwanda. But Burkina Faso president, the new one,
yes,
our hero, stopped everything.
Yes.
So I want us to discuss it. And the African countries with ban, major restriction on GMO, Zambia, Tanzania, Algeria, Madagascar, Benin, Namibia, and DR Congo.
Yeah, DRC.
And countries that is still on primary phases, just reviewing.
Yeah.
It's Uganda, Cameroon, Togo, and Zambia.
Yes. But as much as you say that they have not approved, and the ones that are actually on
trial
the
phases.
verge on trial phases. The most sorry thing is that
They should not approve.
they shouldn't, but the most sorry thing is that GMO is in almost all these countries.
Yes.
It's that some of them do not want to accept, and some of them do not want to say it, which is lying to the masses.
That is the bitter truth.
Yes, and it's the bitter truth. It's what we need to talk about because
yes.
we have to talk about these things. That's why we're here, right?
Yeah.
Because I believe that Vicinfluential is about what is good for our people. It's all about educating Africa about Africa and about things that we need to worry and care about.
Yes.
And GMO is something that should alarm all of us. Yeah.
So let me start with the country that have approved already. What is wrong with us?
What is wrong with us?
In a sense that it should be known to all Africans that this is a new colonialism.
Yes, it
so
is.
On that track, what is wrong with us?
As you said, Neocolonialism.
Yes.
We are free, but we are not free. In Kenya, we say we are free, but it's not yet Uhuru. So we are free, but we don't have the freedom. So, and how do we not have the freedom? We have freedom of movement. We have freedom of the things that we do, but we do not have the freedom of how we think, especially based on policies. Our leaders make policies that are influenced by external forces, yet we call ourselves free. Because when we accept GMO, we need to ask ourselves, what genetically modified organisms am I accepting? There is maybe things that we could accept, but there's things that honestly we could go like, no, we don't need them. In terms of food, there's certain foods we don't need.
Yes.
If we want to introduce new foods that we want to grow that genuinely do not grow back home, like you want to grow apples, and the kind of apples that we have back home are not the same because apples are known to be growing in the US and all that. So if I want to grow them in Kenya and they give me seeds, but also give me a GMO that will give me seeds that will give me a fruit that can give me seeds. But most of the things that they give us are things that are producing seedless.
But the ones that have seed, can you plant them again?
That's something I will say. I will not confirm. Neither will I. I will not confirm or deny because I've not tried.
Okay.
And I didn't read through about it. But I can also tell you that if it has a seed, it could be planted. But also maybe research shows that most of these GMOs are just made to look real. But maybe the seed might not even have anything. It might be infertile. It might not grow.
Yeah, this is why I said it's neocolonialism, because I did a bit research extensively.
Yeah,
I should say it before going ahead, or we agreeing that we should have this episode, right?
Yes.
The seed cannot be planted. It cannot reproduce. So this GMO,
the current GMOs, especially.
Yeah. So genetically modified organism crop.
Yeah.
It's only based on people that are supplying the seed.
Yes.
And it's only once, the business is only once.
Monopolized.
Produce and sell.
Yes.
After that, you come back again.
That's what I was saying. That's my problem there. And what I know is growing up, when we would go to my grandmother's, like on my parents' or my grandmother's land, like, like African households, sometimes you have the same land and you all grow things together. Like if you're growing maize, like the harvest time is the same. So everybody's in the garden. You could find that our parents would actually go and look for the healthiest of the healthy, the maize that is the healthiest, and they would put it aside. Then they will use that, dry that up, and that will be the one that will be used to replant. And they know that it will grow and they will yield a better harvest the next season. But as you say, nowadays, people go to the government. It's creating dependency. Because
in this case of GMO.
Yes, in this case of GMO, it's creating a lot of dependency, which is also creating control. Because I cannot control those who do not depend on me. Right? If I know that in my household, people depend on me to actually leave breakfast on the table, I can control them, because it means that even if I leave and I go and I leave the house and I go whatever, they will still have to call me and go like, hey, we need something to eat.
Yeah.
But if I know I don't control them, it doesn't matter whether I leave or I don't, they will still find something, right?
The monopoly.
But now it's monopolized.
Yeah.
So
we have to depend on them.
We have to depend on them.
Yeah.
That's why you find nowadays people are lining up to get seedlings to plant. growing up, did you find your parents or your grandparents going to the
It's
chief
going
camp
to
to
be the
get
it's
seeds?
going to be the biggest calamity of Africa.
It will be.
Yeah.
Because, and I will ask you this, Vic, growing up in Nigeria as a neighbor,
Yeah.
whenever you wanted to plant cassava, did your grandmother used to go to the chief's camp to ask for seedlings?
No, we do not.
They would even go to the neighbor to go like,
Yeah.
from your last harvest, did you get this?
Yes.
Because maybe whatever I had saved for
we
my
take the stem.
planting,
Yes. We
Yes.
take the stem and we keep the
Yes.
stem for another. Yes.
another season, right?
Yes. Yes.
And if it is maize, for example, everybody will look within the neighborhood who had the most healthiest,
Mhm.
and they will be like, could you share your seed, your maize with me so I
Yes.
can also keep them
Yes.
and see whether we can be able to grow the same.
Mm.
And how did they keep the land healthy? Because if I plant maize in this area this season, the next season, that area I'm going to plant beans,
Yes.
or I'm going to plant maize and beans. And then the next season, I'll plant potatoes there.
Mhm.
So there was the rotation.
Yes.
Right now, you can plant GMOs all year round, and they will still grow because why? They're genetically modified, which means that I can even plant this thing on this and it will grow. The whole thing of even sometimes I feel even the shenanigans of putting it in the soil is just an act. I'm sorry to say.
Yes.
It sometimes feels like it's an act because if they can grow it in the lab, they can grow it anywhere, right? True?
Yeah.
Yes.
So I have a question. Can you tell us what do you think would be the downside when it comes to health?
That you can look at it. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to actually see the effects that we are having now.
Common sense.
Yes, common sense. Look at the age factor.
Mm.
Our grandparents were dying at the age of 100, at the age of 90, 80. Right now, even around Africa, even the presidents we currently have, you can count the oldest person probably in Africa right now is the president of Cameroon.
If the Cameroon president were eating GMO, he would have been maybe 60 years
Probably
old.
all these old African presidents, we need to feed them GMOs.
Yeah,
we probably need every single day.
Yeah, there is this video that is circulating, since this thing started going in Africa, since Africans started speaking out that we don't need GMO foods, Americans have started bringing videos of what they're going through there. I saw this video of this bread.
I saw that.
You will put sliced bread in the water.
Yes.
And for this sliced bread, this sliced bread will still come up like spring.
Yes.
Again. And that is what we need to put in our system. Yeah. It will take maybe forever to digest. And if it didn't digest, it's going to be another cancer or something that we'll have to operate to remove.
Which is scary.
Yeah.
I saw some eggs coming out of China, which is apparently made from a form of plastic. GMO.
Yes.
This egg, literally, you can leave it and it will never spoil. An egg, it stays at a certain time. Whether there is any heat or anything, it will get to a point that it becomes stale inside because it's a living, it's a living creature is supposed to come out of it. So when it stays out for too long, there is a time that it will have to spoil. There is a certain time they cannot stay for too long, especially if there is a little heat, because they will feel that they have to. The what do you call them? The yellow thing inside the yolk. Once it is triggered by any heat outside for a certain time, it will feel that it needs to actually grow because the life within it is calling out, right? But then you have all these eggs that we are finding on the market that really, when you look at most of these videos on YouTube and you look at them and you research them, because they say, and this is why we are being affected as Africa, because they say if you want to hide any knowledge from an African, put it in a book or put it in something that they have to research, which is a sorry state of affairs because it shouldn't be like that. We are among the most smartest people in
Yes, yeah.
And you say about the bread, I tell you about cabbages, potatoes. There is a major fast food supplier who everybody loves. Their potatoes, you can get their French fries, which everybody loves. They will even go to there and only buy the French fries. I don't know why they call them French. Then they will put them, and you can leave them there without putting them in a fridge. And 2 weeks later, you can still warm that and eat.
Supposed to be Dubai fries because we're in Dubai?
No, it's not Dubai. Yes, I get what you did there.
If you fry it in Kenya, it will be Kenyan fries.
Fries. I don't know why they call them French fries.
Kenya.
So my question is, if I harvest potatoes here, as you say, if I have potatoes here in Dubai, or I harvest potatoes in Kenya, or I harvest them in Nigeria, if I harvest them in Nigeria, do they?
No, it's
At what point do they become French fries? Just
right?
because what if maybe the oil might be French, but then what if the oil comes from Nigeria?
Maybe it was discovered there.
Maybe.
To be fair, right?
Yes, maybe, to be fair, yes. I think, yeah, maybe. French toast. French, yes.
No, it's good that, they have everything that they discovered is also. It's very, very okay. I don't fight that.
They also discovered Africa.
Yeah. That's one I don't fight. It's left for us to want to change things if we can. But there is no way we are going to change things if this kind of things still coming in Africa, right?
Yes, because we have to get to a point as Africans where we decide that enough is enough.
Do you know Nigeria has a minister of health?
I think he needs to be given a servant quota at your president.
And this kind of thing has been in Nigeria for like 4 or 5 years now. We don't know about
4 or 5 years.
Yeah,
right?
since 2019.
100%. Let me tell you one thing. If Kenya had GMO introduced in 2002, which is official, knowing Nigeria and the consumption that they consume, 100% I can tell you that you guys have been consuming GMO.
Yeah.
Way even before, because even in Kenya,
Lagos, Abuja,
even before.
Major cities.
They were 100% consuming it. It's only that because then there was we were in the age of getting to have information technology. Now we are in the age of information technology where every single thing, there's somebody who's ready to record it. So you can't hide anything.
And still people are not being informed.
Yes, that's why even these governments are now saying, they're starting to accept it, because after COVID, this is when a lot of governments realize that people actually use the internet, because people made the world one village through the internet during COVID.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's when people got to learn about other people's culture. They got to learn about a lot of things. So they realize there's a lot that they cannot hide. Right? Now, most people got connected to the net, connected. Every single household, if not every person, has a smartphone. So everybody has a way to be able to access information. That's why most of these people are now coming out to say that we have just started accepting and we are licensing and creating policies. You get it? Like, for example, in Kenya, that's why you will find it's 2002, because internet has been very, very easily accessible in Kenya for a very long time. That's why we have mobile money and all that. It's been very easily accessible. That's why we're very noisy online. That's why they say you don't fight with a Kenyan online. We're very noisy.
I will not argue.
Don't say anything, but people will come for you. I can say it.
No, I don't want, there are people that you will not banter with online.
Yeah.
They will come for you, your generation, your president.
My people, you're
because they have the numbers.
Yes.
Because they have the numbers. But it's okay. I have this thing to say about GMO when it comes to Africa, because I know that we have a very fertile land.
Yes, we do.
Right? And we don't need this.
We don't need this. 100%.
And also because of where it's coming from to start with is very, very questionable.
Yes.
These are the people that have always said that the population of the world need to be reduced. And if you're looking for where they're coming from, if you're looking from where they're coming from, they're having birth rate issue.
Yes.
Africa is not having birth rate issue. You understand? So if you put in 1 and 2 together, you will know that this GMO food that has been, let me say, approved in Nigeria, it was not sold. This is not marketing. Somebody came to bribe somebody, right? Gave this seed free. Try it.
They always give free trials.
Yes.
Yes. There is always a plantation. There is always a field that is made that to see whether this works. In Kenya, we have one very, very big, the Ministry of Agriculture has one very, very big farmland, which is supposed to actually be able to plant new and create new innovative seedlings And this is where they do, it's called galana. It's basically they have all these new plants that they do there, and this, once it withstands the condition there, they will then spread it out to the people, right? But my question would be, and I think this is something that is dear to you, Victor. If I'm growing something that gives me a seed that I cannot plant, or the end fruit gives me a seed that I cannot use to create something else, or it does not produce a seed, why do I need it in my
No,
body?
it
What is it
depends.
going to do to me?
I don't need it.
Yes.
I don't need it because, this is something, it might not affect me now.
Yeah.
It might not affect me in 10 years' time or 20
But the
years.
kids that you
but
give birth
is
to.
going to affect, yes. There are people right now, Nigerian problem or African problem is not food.
Yeah.
So we don't need this.
Mhm.
And something that cannot digest, something that cannot easily get rotten, as common as tomato, that everybody knows that it's a perishable food.
Yeah.
All the perishable food that God made so that it will be nourishable to us has been genetically modified to stay as long as it takes.
Yes.
The shelves and the pests, all these things that some people use as manure.
Yes.
Is alien to this kind of food.
Mm.
But when we put it in our body, how
Yeah.
do we expect this kind of thing to digest as quick as possible?
You see,
Can I eat a plate of food that is GMO, a plate of food in the morning,
mhm.
and expect to go to restroom in the evening?
Depends on if you add the common factors, which is basically
No.
water and
Because
everything.
food is expected to digest in your system.
Yes,
in
within
8 hours.
yes. But sometimes you can actually eat some of this processed food and not even feel like you want to go to the loo up to even the next day.
You just drink water, and
Yes.
only pee.
To be honest,
not toilet.
which is something that a lot of people assume, and that's the biggest problem that we have, assumptions.
Their tummy is like this.
Yes, it's
Somebody's going to
that
the
means
gym.
you are not digesting your food.
No, it's not.
And a lot of people bring it too. And this is when you find people in the fitness will tell you, no, it's because you're taking a lot of rice, a lot of starch. And I normally say, if rice, and this is where I normally question everybody that tells me reduce your rice on your food. I go like, if rice was the reason why we got fat, then China would have the biggest case of obesity.
Most Asian countries.
Yes, and most Asian. I'm saying China because there's a billion of them. But every single Chinese that you find, they're always normally fit, to be honest. Because even as much as most of the things they make it to sell out. But if you get to look and you see in the consumption part, and China, they're even always looking to eat new things. That's why.
How are most African people you see today fit? Very fit.
Very few.
Muscles.
No, very few, because if we follow,
they eat everything. They eat everything.
Yeah, they eat everything. They
right?
eat everything.
So
yes.
how are they this fit?
The current ones are not. Our parents are very fit because they could eat anything. My dude has never been into a gym any single day. Yo, if he takes off his shirt, he's that dude that you can tell people hide your women. Because he's fit.
He still has his packs.
Yeah, he has his packs. And
pack.
he's an older guy, you know, like he's my dad. I'm graying, so you can imagine.
Yeah.
But when we stand with him, because of me being out in this Western world and basically being out and all that, you find that we might end up almost looking like we're brothers. You might even say he's my older brother, right? The food they eat, everything. And especially the food, because what I think when we were having a chat earlier, I told you we are what we eat. You become what you eat. For example, you're a chef, right? What if somebody calls a chef? What would they characterize them as? They would characterize them as being big and fat and all that. But you still taste your food, but you understand that you don't overeat in your kitchen, right? Because there's tasting and there's overeating. I normally say,
don't even eat.
yes. So you only taste the food and you only know this is what I need to make. And I will taste it to make sure whatever I'm giving out is the right thing. And some people overeat it. As you said, a lot of people just have.
And you know another thing, those people that when they eat, I don't know if you have seen somebody complain. I started complaining about this since I left Nigeria. I will eat. After eating, I'll find out my tummy is still heavy. Strong.
Yes.
What did I eat?
Because you ate something that is processed.
You know, there is something, since I am here, I'm no longer in Nigeria. So I think I should form the habit of checking the label of the things I'm buying.
And that's the beauty of this place. It's especially anybody that is actually eating unhealthy food and living in this, like for example in Dubai, which actually I need to give kudos to the government of Dubai. Like they do this. You go to the shop, you will find a label that will tell you this is GMO,
Yes,
genetically modified, and they will tell you this is organic, right? And out of even this GMO, you will read what are the contents that I'm eating? What is the protein level? What is the carbohydrate level? Because you find a lot of people are just eating food that they cannot digest, as you said.
yes.
That's why even this, as I say, the fast food company that has these potatoes, if that potato is staying outside for so long without even being affected by all the organics in the air, and it's not even spoiling, it's not rotting, that tomato is staying outside for more than 2 weeks and it's not rotting. You know, it can become soft.
The amount of pregnant men I have seen here, I've seen before. No,
we need a new maternity wing. Yeah, true.
To be sincere.
Yes. But my question is, why would you not get to that point when the kind of food is not even being affected by air? Because air itself, it has a lot of living organisms. That's why if you want your food to be not to be stale, you put it in a fridge where the temperature is regulated. If you cook your meat and you cook it nicely, you leave it outside for 1-2 days, you cannot eat it.
Yeah, there is this instance I want to give my African people, right? Maybe some of them that have been opportune to leave Africa can testify to this, right? When we are in Africa, you see a guy with big stomach, you tell the person, don't drink.
No.
You're drinking too much. But we're in a country that you cannot drink anyhow. Still, I'm seeing more stomach than it was in Africa.
No, in Africa, I don't know, maybe in Kenya, I'll tell you. In Kenya, when they see you with a big tummy, you're rich.
Yeah, they said that also. They said that also because of,
Yes, but if you have a flat tummy, you are actually poor. But normally, I look at it. Now, when we're looking at GMOs, I will now twist it. The reason that most of these people will have these big tummies and
it's unhealthy food.
Yes, even when they are working out, it's unhealthy food.
It's unhealthy food.
Because they have access to all these places that they go for fast food. They have access to go to supermarkets where they are buying all these nice food that have wax. Do you know they put wax chemicals on apples to make them look shiny? You know, they're taking all these things. You find somebody will take an apple. It's already a GMO.
Have you seen a shiny apple?
Yes.
Shiny.
Yes, it shines. It looks like literally, it looks like your head.
When you wash it too much, the color will be going out.
You find when you wash it, you find even your water turns white because they wax it. It's like they shine the way you shine your shoes.
Yes.
And already this thing is a GMO. Then you find people who just wash the top without even washing properly. Then they just eat it. Why would you not get a big tummy?
Yeah.
Why would you? Because your body does not understand the foreign objects that you're giving in, because your body is supposed to be digesting something that is organic because you are organic yourself, right? So you're supposed to be breaking down things that are organic. Your body is supposed to throw them into the right places, and whatever cannot be used will go to waste. But it's not going to waste because the body does not understand it. So it doesn't throw it to waste. It stays in your gut. Right? It can't be thrown to waste. It stays in your gut. And you end up getting all these big, and you think, oh, I'm big. But the people that are considered poor is the people with the flatter tummies. Here in the Western world, the more flatter you are, the more rich you are, because they means that you have money for the gym and all that. Back home, the more fit you are, the more poor you are.
So I want to ask you, being that these GMO crops have been approved in Kenya, can you tell us a little bit of story when Kenya had food insecurity?
There was a time that the leaders say that we have had in food insecurity, but I think it could be tackled in a different way. It could have been tackled by teaching people how to preserve what they harvest. Because, for example, I come from a place called the Goto. There is a place called Ndeya where a lot of people from my place have their land there. They have 5 acres, 3, 4, 5 acres, 10 acres that they plant maize. But what people even from that side do, when they harvest everything, they harvest and they sell everything. So the problem is not that there is no food. The problem is that whatever is harvested is sold out. So the people, when there is short rains or there is no rain, they don't have anything. So they will cry drought. We are in a desert, right? Have you ever had any food insecurity here?
No.
And we are in a desert, right? So it means that if we decided to attack it in a different way, the land is already fertile 6 to 8 months of the year. Then there is 2-3 months where there is drought. There is no rains that are coming in. There is a solution to that. If this land is fertile enough and it rains at a certain time of year, it means the soil retains water underground. Dig more wells. Teach people how to do irrigation, and they can still plant the same amount of food. Teach people how to hold seedlings. Teach people how to basically plant more instead of introducing all these things saying harsh conditions. It's not about harsh conditions. It's about a mentality and the policies that we create.
Yes.
Right?
Again, just like you said before, they said that if you want to hide education from black man, put it
Hide
in
it
the
in a
book.
book. Put it in a
right?
book.
So I think right now, with the way everything is going, I cannot say there will be a season for farming. There is something called green farming, right? And with technology, we can find a way to always farm for everything.
Yes.
You understand? Without genetically modifying the food, removing and adding.
Yes, that's what I was saying.
Let's just keep it the way nature makes it,
Yes.
the way God makes it.
Create opportunities to make sure we can still have the same kind of natural foods without...
we don't want season, but we can always have our crops.
Yes, because as let me ask you at this time, and this is what scares me. When I was young, I used to look forward to December because my favorite fruit is a plum. You know the plum. In Kenya, the plum, a proper plum, is only available and harvested October, November, December, and January. And they come from the colder parts of Kenya, which is called a place called Kimende, Limuru, all that kind of. And the plums, and the pear, natural pears, they taste different from all these GMO pears. We used to look forward. I've got an aunt that lives at those sides in a place called Kimende. I would actually look forward to go and visit them because so I can be able to go to the trees and pluck these fruits, you know? And when you eat it fresh from that plant, and then when you go to a supermarket and buy something that is GMO, the taste.
When I used to work in a ship, because I have worked in a ship, right, that we travel.
As I
also, we travel country to country.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to
it's
Vic, the traveler.
It's experience, right? I remember that there was a time we went to South Africa to buy stock because you cannot take everything you need from to where you're going. So we went to South Africa to buy something. I remember that the orange that we bought from South Africa, we were able to use that orange more than 1 month. Yes.
Without storing it in a...
No. We have chiller. Right?
Yes.
So how can orange stay more than 30 days? No, everybody was complaining.
And doesn't freeze up.
No.
Because a true orange, you can put it in the fridge. It will stay for that 30 days.
Yeah.
But there is a way that it looks. It doesn't still retain the same... yes. It squeezes it itself. And then when you remove the whole thing, it tastes dry.
Yeah. Another thing is when it stays that long, it's going to be dry. When you open it, you start just between this.
Yes, yeah.
But this one is just...
Still fresh.
Yeah, still fresh. Okay. You see it. I was even giving them props. But seeing that GMO has been in South Africa since 1999, man.
Knowledge is power, brother.
Yeah. No, this is the kind of things, maybe also if to give the citizens a little, because sometimes you need to be fair. Just like this thing happened in Nigeria, right? Somebody will just take the money, take the seed and approve. It's called lobby.
You lobby.
You bribe them.
Yes.
Right? They will just take the money and approve whatever you want to approve. You tell them this NGO, we are going to give them so amount. This NGO, we are going to give them so amount. They are going to do road for you. We are going to bring vaccine for your people. we are going to give so many rubbish that we don't need, then they will approve this poison for Africans. Right?
And because, number one, the whole world, as much as a lot of people do not want to admit this, the whole world is afraid of Africa. Because even in the map, when you look at the globe, it's made to look smaller than it is. You
My
know,
brother,
it's the
but this
biggest
is-
land
my
mass in
brother,
the
but
world.
this is what we've been hearing. I am 30-something years old.
Mm.
Since human being could walk.
Yeah.
My father, my great grandfather.
Yes, yes.
This is what we've been hearing about.
But the problem is the new generation, and it started from the millennials. A lot of people don't give props to the millennials as much as they could, because the woke generation right now, which is the Gen Z or the Gen Alphas, is the millennials started bringing up children in a different way, where they could allow them to actually access information, because we cannot question our parents, because that's how we've been brought up to. But me and my daughter, we can sit down and have an argument on something that is substantial. You get my point?
Yeah, I get. But I think
Yes.
think it is not. If I have to argue it, I think it's not the case. It's
No,
because
it's
of
not
the
arguing.
information.
It's not arguing. It's having, okay, the right word that I should use is having a discourse. Like we can discuss
our parents,
something.
right? Our parents.
We
that
could
are-
not talk. Oh God,
Another thing is the only way they can get information is through mainstream.
that's the problem. Which I read somewhere.
But right
which is
now,
the
it's not just mainstream.
Yeah. We're in the era of information technology. Every single person, if not every single person, every single household has a mobile phone, which is either an Android or an iOS. They have a phone that can access internet. So whenever you tell people something, the first thing they do, Google is free. It doesn't even charge anything. That's why they say Google is your friend. They will go on Google. But then also, I normally tell people, when you go on Google, remember Google also has a disclaimer and say they are not the ones responsible for the information. So you have to also debug and debunk the information that you're reading to make sure whoever is giving that information is giving the accurate information. So people will go. You cannot lie to people nowadays. They will go and research. Our people and our politicians, and especially in Africa, they are too old, and the policymakers that we have are too old to understand that we do not subscribe to the old way of thinking. Am I making sense?
Yes.
That when you bring a topic of GMO, before I say anything, I'll go and research about it. What are you telling me you are allowing?
Allow me to educate my people on it.
Yes. Yeah.
Allow me to have more information concerning this.
So any policy, like we have a new constitution in Kenya, that if any policy has to be brought forward, it has to be taken for people participation. Now, most of our politicians are very scared, because who are the people that are going for this participation? Before, it was nobody ever went for those participation. It was old people. But because the new generation has realized that, wait, if we want to make a change, we need to go for this. We call them barazas. So if you bring things like GMO and you want to put it in, now we're going to sit down. And when they argue, everybody goes like, they always use this thing: you're too young, you don't know anything.
Yeah.
But then they forget that the problem that you're discussing with me is not an old problem.
Yeah. But
we're not discussing colonization. We are discussing
another thing is somebody
GMO, which is a new thing.
Somebody used to say that stupid people also grow old.
Yes, not even stupid. Stupid. You can be wise, but you can be stupid because you can be funny, because you can say things that are stupid. But there is a difference between being stupid and foolish. So the word is, even the foolish
also grow
old. So this because I have gray hair doesn't mean, unless I already had wisdom when I was
ancient wisdom. What is ancient wisdom?
Wisdom from the old man.
It was manipulated.
Ancient wisdom is wisdom that you cannot play around with, because it means that this person knows who they are.
Few people has it. The people with mainstream has it.
But they hide it because they realize the majority of people. For example, what is the main dominant? And we're still on the topic, because we need the thing that we are doing now is to find out, why are we readily so much accepting to allow genetically modified organisms to actually be in the market, and why are we so accepting it? Is because, number one, we have been brought up with what we call a religious mentality. The most influential religions in Africa are Christianity and Islam, which is actually alarming because it should have been African traditionalism and all that should have actually been there, right? But what do most of these people do? There's nothing wrong with whatever religion you follow, but there's everything wrong when you sit down to be taught but not read for yourself. You've got a lot of Christians who go to church, but they don't read their own Bible. Am I making sense?
So much.
They only wait for Sunday for the preacher that is on the pulpit to revelate. And remember, the word says, you read it, let these words not depart from your
mouth.
So how are they going to not depart from it? Meditate on this. What are you meditating on? You have to read so that you can be able to have something to meditate on. So when you read it, nobody can lead you astray.
Yeah.
Right? It's the same as these GMO things. A lot of people and our older parents were taught whatever is said on the pulpit is okay. Whatever a leader says is okay. We are not supposed to question a leader. Why? He comes from God.
But I also thank God for this generation that there is information right now.
Yes.
Right?
Information.
Because there is not only one source of information. Back in the day, it used to be only our parents telling us.
Yes.
Or our pastors.
Because they were told by the news that was 3 times a day.
So everything we get to hear is somebody who's leading us.
Yes.
Religious leader, parents, school teacher. But now there are so many ways. Anywhere you turn, you're getting information. So I think it's also going to be very, very hard on this Western country, mostly America, to hold Africa down. You understand? And that is why I think they are coming with this GMO food. When they infect our land, then we'll depend on them to supply the seed.
That's the point. Remember what we said. Whatever you plant that resists weeds, it means it resists the natural formation of an organism of the world and of the land.
Yeah.
If I plant a maize and when it grows, I don't need to worry about weeding because it's resistant to weed. What am I doing to the soil?
Yeah, that's a good question.
It means that this thing is growing and killing all the organisms that are around it. Might look on a profit scale, on a profit point of it, it might look like a very, very good idea. If I'm a businessman, I would do it. It's amazing because it means I'm getting, 60, 70%, 80% profit, and I don't have to worry. I will embrace it. But the problem is that we are led by money, right? And when we are led by money, what is happening right now? We end up finding that we don't worry about how much problems we are causing.
But we need our lands to be fertile.
We need it. And this is how you know whether a land is fertile. And I learned this from my parents. I learned it from my dad especially because my dad is a farmer. He loves farming, anything farming, whether it's keeping dairy cows, sheep, growing anything on the farm. He loves it, and he's got these hands. You know those hands they call farm hands. When you touch something, it just multiplies. Yes, like when these people who farm hands, whenever they touch, if they plant something in a place that was not growing, it grows, right? And you will find that he will always do his own. He plants his own maize. He plants his own everything. So you have to understand that. So you have got to realize that we need to start teaching our people. If you grow it, you should be able to replant it. If you cannot replant it, you should not grow it.
Yes.
I think that's the slogan. And that's how you get rid of all this.
And Africa is not suffering from food insecurity. No. We don't need it. And if we're suffering from food insecurity, there is another way that we can be planting food, getting food every time.
This is why I told you, we do not have a problem with food insecurity. We have, or food security. We have a problem with policies. We have a problem with teaching our people. Whatever you harvest, keep a certain amount of it to be able to replant it. And also, if the problem is that area is semi-arid, it means it receives rainwater, a certain amount of time. What should the government be doing? Not introducing all these GMOs, should be building dams. We should be building so that people can use the dams for irrigation. We should be encouraging people to dig boreholes so they can have water to be able to.
Yes.
And once you have all these, you will still be able to have the production that is required without having to introduce things that are actually coming in to spoil
our land and and our system as human beings.
Because the one thing, they've already manipulated Africa out of natural resources like gold, diamonds, and oil and everything. Now, the main thing is food, because the moment you take food out of the people, they will depend on you forever.
Yeah.
Because somebody that is hungry cannot think. Because a hungry man is an angry man.
That's all.
You can never have a conversation with somebody that is hungry. But once you feed them and you show them that you're the source of their happiness, because when you're hungry, you're angry. But if I feed you, you become happy.
And when you are holding somebody's stomach, you own that person.
That's what I'm saying. So when you're hungry,
that is that neocolonialism that we talked about.
It's 100% neocolonialism, and we need to be very, very worried. And to the leaders, and this is me like hoping that this actually goes viral, because I hope that any African president actually listens to this. Stop looking.
They're not going to listen.
I hope they do.
It will be maybe few.
Yeah, we have to hope. Because as a descendant of freedom fighters, I will tell you, you have to be looking at African solutions for African problems, even in food. And I'll say
not a Western
yes. Stop looking at Western solutions for African problems. If there is food insecurity because a place does not have water, build dams so that we can harvest water when it rains. Dig boreholes so people can be able to use that water for irrigation when it's not raining. And they can still be, and the dams and the boreholes will be able to actually work together, because when it rains, the water is...
And if they cannot build dam because sometimes you have fields up and cost another flooding. If they cannot, borehole, I think borehole is not expensive
listen, the dams will not overfill. And I can tell you why. Because if you're building a dam, you're probably building a dam in a place that is semi-arid. It means the amount of water that it receives, you are able to measure it, because we have very smart people in Africa. We have meteorological departments, right? We have people that are scientists that could be able to tell you the amount of water retention the land, or the amount of water
that place needs.
Yes. And they will be able to, from that, they will be able to judge from the amount of the dam that you create. And through those dams, you actually even solve another solution, because you can be able to create turbines from the dams, and you're able to create electricity. So out of just healing food insecurity, you're actually even healing other problems, which it means that even if electricity is not a problem for me, and I have a small farm, I can also be able to do greenhouse farming. Do you get it? Mm-hmm. So at the end of the day, you end up having a country and a continent that is food secure. It's not rocket science. It's not. It's just that we have people in leadership that do not want to do it.
So we don't want to cut them down. No. We said they don't want to do it.
Because once I do it, I cut the pocket.
You're still being fair. You don't want to call them harsh names.
No, I am. I am trying to be nice. But in my country, when you talk too much, they can't find you. So I have to be nice, because I still want to go back home.
I don't want.
But I
am fighting for my place because I don't want to go back home.
Okay. No, I hope you're fighting so you can be able to go back.
I'm fighting because I want to go back.
And look and make sure that your kids will not worry about
if they are making dumb policies, we should look them in the face and say they are making 100%.
Dumb policies. Yes. My people are making dumb policies. The fertilizer they give to people. I'm like, at what point? Why are you worried about fertilizer? Why are you fertilizing a land that is always fertile? You need to teach people rotational farming, that if I plant in this land and I plant maize, I can do that in 2 seasons. The other season, I should plant that area, something different, so that the nutrients, or I should allow that place to have 2-3 months. But because I've harvested a lot, I don't need to worry about the 3-4 months that I'm leaving the land there, because I am food secure.
I get you. I want to bring this podcast to a close. But there is this thing I'm doing. Before I end my podcast, I will bring up one dumb thing we always do in Nigeria and let you know. UAE is how many states?
I think there's 7 Emirates, right?
Okay. And in every state, they have airports and seaports.
100%.
Right? Seaports. And
literally government.
Yes.
Which is what we call our governorates.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. In Nigeria, we have 36 states. 36 states.
So you have 36 7 Emirates.
No. In Nigeria, we have 36 states with only one functioning seaport. Yeah. So we have people making dumb decisions there. And people will keep re-electing them. No, I'm just
they should, what they should have is they should allow me, sorry to interrupt. They should have been having what you call land ports.
They said you should not insult your country. You should be a promoter of your country. You understand?
Promote
but right
what
now,
is worth
yeah,
promoting.
but right now my people are being insulted all over the world because of the stupid people making decisions. So the madness has come to a point that we need to fight naked in the marketplace.
Yeah, true.
So I bring this segment to
before you bring to the close, I need to actually say something about my country. And I know every single person that is watching this will agree with me. See, Kenya is where Africa and the new uprising is coming from. Because we have people that we have decided enough is enough. We question every single thing. What I would say to every single African country is pressure your leaders to change the constitution so you can be able to question and fight them. We have a constitution that allows us to fight. Are we there yet? No, because some of the leaders we have are still the older people who are still running through the old policies. Do I think we're going to be there? Yes. Because if we give the younger people a chance to actually take over, lead, and they are not afraid of losing their seats, we are not going to be afraid. And Africa will only change when we change all those colonizers' constitutions, because we changed ours and it's been a game changer. That's why you can see on the news that Kenyans are out there on the streets fighting, right? We need to change this. We need to be one mind for Africa, one mind. Once Africa is stable, nobody can tell us anything. And it's the truth. Back to you.
Okay. I hear you. You know, somebody will hear what I just said now as a Nigeria. You know, we have so many professors in Nigeria. The professor will now use English to brainwash people like they have been doing for years and decades, and Nigeria have not progressed.
They have
if you ask me now, I would say all those old professors that we've known that continue to speak English in front of camera, nobody should listen to them.
Yeah.
So if this is your first time coming across Vicinfluential, please start listening to people that cannot speak good English but are productive. See you next on Vicinfluential. And please be part of this growing community because we are growing and we are going to grow very bluntly. See you next.
See you next time. Sammy words. See you next time.